Welcome back to episode 10 of Abiotic Factor Story Mode. If this is your first time here, I suggest starting from the beginning. There will be a playlist in the description for your convenience. Previously, our subject explored deeper into the Antiverse 168, locating the lodestone and using its pieces to fix the portal gear and get back to the facility. From there, they continued their way through the security sector and finally reached the Hydroplant, where they located survivors who had a plan. A risky one. I ended up bringing back resources from my exploration back to base. By the time I was done, night had fallen, and the Order attacked. After dealing with the attack, I went to sleep. Day 52. I grabbed a new power cell from Flathill, then headed to the Mycofields, gathering resources I was low on. While I was exploring, the rest of the day passed. Day 58. I crafted and used the SUV hot wire kit on one of the SUVs in the Hydroplants, so I could hopefully get around easier. I explored more of the Hydroplant for the whole day. Day 53. As I explored more of the Hydroplant, I picked up the idea for a better hacker from an email on a terminal. Unfortunately, I only had one of the needed items. I also located Abe and Janet again. Farther along, I located a security bot, one of the pink ones with a gun. It wasn't an easy fight, but it was doable. The energy pistol carried the process. Day 54. Just as the lights came back on, I managed to take down a second of the bots. And soon after, a strange black fog rolled in. My gate pal warned of potential entities to watch out for. Going back to base, mainly because I couldn't see anything, I hung out the rest of the day, going over resources and making a game plan. At night, there was another one-man Order attack. I tested the sniper I got a long while back in manufacturing, but it wasn't cutting it for my needs anymore. Day 55. Leaving my base, I came across one of those shades. It floated around, and when I got near, it started going towards me, and no conventional means of attack did anything. I remember my energy pistol having an effect on the Reaper, so I pulled that out. It seemed to do something, but it still kept chasing me. Till finally, it ran right into me, and disappeared. Moments later, the Reaper appeared nearby, and after a cat and mouse game, I was finally able to get it to disappear with the use of my energy pistol. Back at Hydroplant, I discovered one of my objectives. Unfortunately, there was so much radiation in the vicinity, I was unable to use it. Someone nearby gave me the blueprints for a device to cancel out the radiation, though I'd need to get some items I was actively searching for, so I moved on for now. Day 56. Back at base, I wanted to stock up on blacksmith materials, so I crafted the needed materials and traded them with him. Eventually, I came across someone. They mentioned the objective across the water, and that they wouldn't suggest attempting it without proper equipment. They gave me a recipe for a dive suit, so I figured it might be smart to make it. The rest of the day, as well as the next, had little to note, mostly resource gathering to get ready to explore in the water. Day 58. I began exploring the watery depths of the Hydroplant. I knew something lived in the water. I got that information from audio tracks I had located as well as some emails, so I was very cautious. I located some kind of mechanical growth on the side of the walls underwater. I collected a bunch, but after a while I began losing oxygen. As I neared the surface, I well and truly ran out of oxygen. At the same time, I heard a loud noise and a giant creature swam past below me. Thankfully, it didn't pursue me, and after catching my breath, I moved on, eventually reaching the isolated area. There, I found a portal. Jumping in, I almost froze to death. Thankfully, there was a second portal nearby. I realized the walls of the area around the portal were covered in photon receptors, the exact thing I had been looking for this whole time. Day 59. Back at base, there was an attack from the people of Cannon. That was a new one. Anyways, with the needed resources at my disposal, first thing I crafted was the Void Pack, a backpack that could hold much more. I also crafted an upgraded version of the sniper and shotgun, disabling the biometric locks while I was at it. I discovered I could kill one of the containment bots with the shotgun, though it was a bit of a waste of ammo. Day 60. I started the day by entering the laser labs. I needed anti-thermite, which is why I hadn't done it before now. I was able to direct the laser beam into shooting a tiny portal. It vanished and then nothing. No clue what that was about. Moving on, I crafted Containment Unit 91, a containment device designed to contain IS-91, also known as Leyak. After setting it up, all I had to do was wait for the creature. Day 61. After a trip to Flathill for a power cell, I found Leyak nearby, and after zapping them with x-rays, they were trapped. For a moment. Turns out I need gray up. Good thing I planted a seed earlier, hopefully I'll be ready for full containment soon. I finally crafted the tier 5 hacker next. It had so many places that I need to unlock, I didn't even know where to start. Eventually I just decided to open them as I saw them. Day 62. I entered the Cold World portal. After equipping cold-resistant gear, it was, well, cold. As I took out the guards guarding this place, I picked up leftover gear they dropped. It was cold-resistant and had much more armor than anything I had. Continuing on, I was able to take out the rest of the guards in the first building, then took a zipline down to a lower area, where I nearly died of exhaustion. Luckily, I was able to find a cot to crash on. Day 63. I heard from a gate employee earlier that there may be a portal in the Yeti enclosure, so I decided to go look for that, which wasn't hard considering there was guards actively fighting it. After following the sound of gunfire, then taking out the guards, I slipped past the Yeti to the portal, which brought me back to the facility. Back at base, I sorted out all the stuff I had gathered and crafted the neon emitter, which was the item I needed to block radiation. I spent the rest of the day rebooting the Spillway computer, which was the last one, minus blocking the radiation around the transmission tower. Day 64. I finally successfully trapped Leyak inside the containment unit. Hopefully they wouldn't bother me now. From there, I ran all the way to Hydroplant, only to discover I hadn't brought a laser emitter. After finally getting back, I set it up, then clicked the button, opening the spillways. After making my way down and then briefly stopping to kill a security bot, I went to the spillways and entered. They brought me to a small room where a sister of the unlost gave an eerie warning that all was fate and decided. Entering another pipe had me splashing into a pool of water and powered surfaces. There was a lot of fungi overgrowth. I couldn't tell if it was by design or due to the facility breach 2 months ago. After finding a recording device, it turns out it was due to a planned perforation. All the spores leaked in through the portal before they could close it. I located a tram station, and I knew it would be smart to unlock it as soon as I could. So I headed to my base using my personal teleporter, then crafted a tram key. The tram itself was covered in fungi overgrowth. Luckily, it still seemed to function normally. Riding the tram brought me to the office sector, to no one's surprise. Back at Power Services, I investigated an obstruction that blocked my path. It was something not unlike the goo, though I doubt anything I had would work on it, not even the anti-thermite. But, knowing it was likely there was something that would work on it, I explored farther. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you next week.